I think we can go ahead and get started and introduce the McCarthys to you all.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this online event for Umsl, sponsored by the Pierre Laclede Society. We are Dennis and Maggie Mccarthy, and we're an Umsl couple. We met way back in the 1960s in the very early days, along with other couples that we know. My brother Brian and his wife Mary met at Umsl, and lots of other folks that we know. So here's to all the Umsl couples. We'll be hearing from more of them as we go along. And here's Maggie.
I get to give some of the information for the evening, and I have my little cheat sheet so I don't miss a darn thing. So the Pierre Laclede Society has proudly hosted 3 years of the Community Confluence event, a special evening of programs with inside access to conversations, research, and collaborations at the University of Missouri, St. Louis. This year, in lieu of gathering in person, we are excited to introduce the Community Confluence series, a virtual event series taking place through the first half of 2021, with tonight's event being the first of 4 exciting events. Our next event in the series, Braving, will be on March the 11th at 6 p.m. and will feature alum Andrea Nelson discussing the best-selling book, Dare to Lead, by researcher and storyteller, Dr. Brene Brown. More information will be sent out after this event, including the link to register. The first 50 who register will receive a free book. So now I would like to introduce our MC for the night, Dr. Jim Henry. Jim is an associate professor of music and director of choral studies at Umsl, where he conducts university singers and vocal point and teaches courses in choral methods, choral conducting, and choral arranging. He was awarded the Missouri Governor's Award for Excellence in Teaching. In addition to his duties at University of Missouri St. Louis, Dr. Henry is a 2-time Barbershop Harmony Society International Quartet Champion bass and a 4-time International Chorus Champion Director. Dr. Henry currently sings bass with Crossroads, the 2009 BHS International Quartet Champions. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, and special thanks to the McCarthys for kicking this off for us and for everything you do. We appreciate it so much. And I am also really, really proud to welcome our chancellor at the University of Missouri St. Louis, Kristen Sobolik, who is a great supporter of the arts, and it's really wonderful to have her with us as well. And even more than that, I'm excited to welcome the stars of the evening, 4 young people who mean the world to me. When you're a teacher, every now and then you just, I don't know, the stars align or something, and you get this amazing group of people with just uncommon talent who also happen to be really dear, sweet people. And that happened to me around 2012. When 4 people who had never met each other all walked into the music department at the University of Missouri St. Louis and became members of my choir, and they got to know each other, started singing together, sang in both the choirs that I conduct, and basically, you know, their life has gone a direction that I don't know any of them would have foreseen when they first got there, but they are just bringing joy to the entire world. They've traveled around the world singing, winning competitions. Many of you who've been around might even remember they sang at the Founders Dinner events and all sorts of events. And even while they were students, they had the opportunity to travel to Germany and compete at the International Mixed Harmony competition. Kurt Coonrod, I remember, was very instrumental in helping us fund that trip. And they went out there, and not only did they compete at it, they won. And not only did they win, but they won by the largest point total of any quartet in the history of that event. So they just make us so proud. And you don't want to hear me talk anymore. What you really want to do is hear them sing. So I'm very, very proud to introduce to you, especially in keeping with our sort of Valentine's Day theme, because they also met at Umsl, and they became boyfriends and girlfriends while at Umsl, which inspired their name, and now they are married couples with babies. So we'll tell that story as we go along. In the meantime, let me welcome Michaela, Blair, Ravi, and Nathan. Double date.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. I've been so lonely and blue, but now I'm through. I'm telling all my blues goodbye. Bye bye blues, bye bye blues. Bells ring, birds sing, sun is shining, no more pining, just we two smiling through. Don't sigh, don't cry, bye bye blues. Bum 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 bye. Bye 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 to those bum 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 bum. Bye 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 to those bum bum bum. Don't let me hear you sigh. Don't let me hear you cry. Bells are ringing, birds are singing. Bye 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 to those bum 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 bum. Bye 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 to those bum bum bum. Don't let me hear you sigh. Don't let me hear you cry. Bye bye. Bye bye to those blues. Bye bye.
Trust me, I'm sure that there are lots of people applauding that we can't hear right now.
We're gonna sing one more for you, but we were talking about how every time we sing, it's just gonna be silent. So we're just
But it's
gonna.
not. It's
Yeah.
I'm gonna bridge that little awkward gap for y'all.
Should we sing one more?
Yeah, we're gonna sing another one. Tonight you're mine.
Tonight you're mine. Mine. Tonight you're mine completely. You give love so sweetly. Tonight the light of love is in your eyes. But will you love me? Will you love me tomorrow? Is this a lasting treasure or just a moment's pleasure? Can I believe the magic in your eyes? Will you still love me tonight with words unspoken? You say that I'm the only one. But will the spell be broken when the night meets meets the morning sun. I'd like to know if your love is a love I can be sure of. So tell me now, and I won't ask again. Will you still love me tomorrow?
Beautiful. So
Thank you,
beautiful.
Jim.
Oh, it brings back such memories for me to hear you guys again. Oh, how nice to hear you. Well, I am gonna sort of act as I'll act as the person who's gonna ask you some questions here, and I think everybody's just really interested in the double date story because we're all from Umsl, and it's just I think that you make us so proud to know that we've got alums like you that are out there representing our school. So I think that the first question that probably should be asked is, why did you choose Umsl? You know, those first questions. Why did you choose Umsl? How did you meet? You know, were you singing together first or dating first and things like that? So why don't you just sort of tell us about that?
Well, do you guys want to go down the line and just each kind of say how we personally ended up at UMSL, and then we'll talk about how we kind of found each other.
Yeah.
Sure. So I'm actually a fourth generation barbershop singer. My dad actually sings in Crossroads with Dr. Henry, and I knew that I wanted to be a music teacher, and I thought who better to learn from than Dr. Henry. So I was living in Florida. I went to high school in Florida, and I came up to Missouri to study with Dr. Henry to be a music teacher.
And I'm from St. Louis. My dad actually went to UMSL as well. And I was studying music at St. Charles Community College because I wasn't sure if I was like smart enough to take all the music theory classes, and I didn't want to spend too much money. So I was studying at the community college and doing my gen eds there. And then I knew I wanted to transfer. And my voice teacher said, you should go to UMSL because the director of choral studies there is really good. And that person turned out to be you, Jim. And she was right. And it was wonderful. And
I just want to say, I like where this is going so far.
I know. This is the Jim Henry admiration hour. Yeah.
So I have a similar story that's mostly about Jim, but I had gone to college for liberal arts already. I had done a year of law school, and then, as I like to joke, it was just too easy. So I thought music is the way to challenge myself. And I was up in Minnesota, made a barbershop friend who said, you gotta go study with Jim Henry down in St. Louis. And it was actually like key for me. I found a YouTube video of Dr. Henry giving a speech about the meaning of music, the power of teaching and sharing music, and how it was all wrapped up with mission. And I was like, I want that fire. And so yeah, I came down and learned from Jim.
I'm from Hillsboro, Missouri, about an hour south of St. Louis, and it gets a lot more country down in Jefferson County. But I was going to high school, and my teacher was Lisa Finch. I don't know if this is true. Did you and Lisa Finch go to school together?
She is a little bit older than me, but we knew each other from school. Like, she graduated just as I was getting started, but we had a lot of mutual friends, and we knew each other very well.
Okay. Yeah, so I found Barbershop on YouTube, just on the internet, and fell in love with that. And she said, you know, if you want to go to school for music, you're really into this style of thing, I know exactly who you should go to school and study with. And so, of course, she said, you should go study with Jim Henry. And so I did. And that was like my first music program audition and only. I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. So I just stayed.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great having everybody here. Let's just end it with that.
It's true. I wonder if someone went and counted like how many I don't know even how many relationships and marriages probably came from people coming to study with you. I wonder what that number would be, but I can think off the top of my head of like 20 people who are married because they met in one of your music programs. That's pretty cool. Good job.
Well,
Matchmaker.
right.
So yeah.
Yeah, just call me Yenta.
Yeah, that's right.
We did.
Yeah, we do.
So,
We do. I was like, this Yenta won't leave me alone.
so
Okay, so we all ended up at UMSL and we're all studying music with Jim, and none of us knew each other yet. Michaela and I had met one time at a barbershop event before either of us knew that we were going to be studying together. So that was just kind of like a circumstance thing that happened. But so we all got there and we all four were friends right away because we were all singing in the University Singers group and also in Vocal Point, which is Jim's kind of audition only, high level a cappella ensemble.
I think we have a picture of that.
Yeah, we have a picture of that.
Of when we were all in Vocal Point.
Aha.
There it is.
There we are.
Aww.
This is a serious pose.
Yeah, wow.
It
So
looks
all
like
of us
birds
are
are flying all over the Two Hill and everybody's, yeah.
Yes, this is in the Two Hill lobby.
Yeah.
I had hair.
Wow, I haven't seen this picture in a long time. I don't really want to look at it too hard.
Fall of 11.
Sorry. The fall of 2011 was when this picture was taken. It was my first year. You guys
Yeah.
had been there before, and it was my first year.
Yeah.
That's the group we got to spend a lot of time together in, and where we really found our friendship. And we're like, hey, we just like singing together. We like to sing something called tags, which is kind of like a barbershop thing, little parts of songs. So we were just singing tags together and learning songs together. And we're like, hey, this is kind of cool.
Yeah. And none of us were dating, I don't think, when we started singing together.
But there was already a spark.
There was some sparks, mostly between me and Michaela.
Yeah.
I knew this was something. I knew this was going somewhere. So we started singing together, and I think what happened was actually a member of the Ambassadors of Harmony had a birthday party, and they really wanted a quartet to come and sing for someone's birthday and learn a bunch of music really fast. And we said, like, do you mind if we hold sheet music and read it at the event? And they said no. And we were like, well, then yeah, we could do that. So I think that was the first real show that we had. And we sang at somebody's birthday party. And then we just kept doing it because it was so fun. And without going like too much into it, maybe you heard that, Jim, you are a 2-time gold medalist with the Barbershop Harmony Society. And for people who don't know about that, for a long time, there was the Barbershop Harmony Society, and it was only for men to join. So if you were a mixed quartet, like we were, two men and 2 women, or any other configuration besides 4 men, there was nowhere in the United States for you to sing or compete or
In the barbershop style.
There
was the women's organizations,
Right.
Harmony Incorporated and Sweet Adelines, and then there was the men's organization. But there was no real place for mixed quartets to sing or compete really yet.
or like hang out with each other or meet each other or anything. And so we heard from Michaela's dad that there was a contest in Germany for mixed quartets, and anyone from anywhere in the world could apply. And if you scored high enough by sending in a video, you would get an invitation to come. So we did a video, we got our invitation to come, and that's kind of what prompted us really getting into gear and like rehearsing a lot. So yeah, I think we're going to talk more about Germany later, but that was like our big beginning. And so then they started dating, Nathan and Michaela started dating, and then Ravi and I started dating, and now we're all married. So
Amazing. Well, I'm going to ask you to sing a couple more songs if you don't
Yeah.
mind. That would be great.
Yeah.
And we'll ask some more questions. We'll go back and forth.
The first song we're going to sing, I don't know if anybody has seen this movie. It's an Adam Sandler movie from the early 2000s called The Wedding Singer. And this is a song that he sings in that movie, and we loved it, and someone arranged it in the barbershop style.
Really fits into the Valentine's theme.
Yes. I wanna make you smile whenever you're sad. Carry you around when your arthritis is bad. All I wanna do is grow old with you. Old with you. I'll get your medicine when your tummy aches. Build you a fire when the furnace breaks, so it could
need you, feed you, even let you hold the remote control.
That's not gonna happen right now.
Not really.
No.
So let me do the dishes in our kitchen sink. Put you to bed when you've had too much to drink. Oh, I could be the one who grows old with you. I wanna grow old with you. With you.
Woo!
Thank you,
Our one
dude.
fan.
I remember you guys singing that. That was one of the first ones you learned.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, that one's so fun. It's so cute. I love the words to that song. So yeah, we're gonna sing another one.
This is If You Love Me. Should we talk about the contest first, or do you want to sing it?
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit that this next song, so when we went to our contest, there are certain barbershop songs that are considered contestable and not contestable, and it has to do with the way that they're arranged. And so we had to choose certain contestable songs to go to contest. And so this was one that we learned. And I remember when we first started singing it, Michaela and I could not sing through it without sobbing, without like crying. And we knew, okay, we really want to learn this song. So we're going to sing that one for you now. And I'd say it's one of our favorite songs to sing. Yeah.
This song actually is one of the ones that brought me to St. Louis as well. I got to see Jim directing the Ambassadors of Harmony at contest with it, blew my mind, and then it was one of the ones that I really wanted to sing with the quartet. And I remember it was one of the first ones that I was like, all right, let's stay after vocal point and let's try to read this together. And so
we didn't sight read it. It's too hard.
You guys want to stay after class and say read some music?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to sing that one for you now. It's called "If You Love Me, Really Love Me."
If you only say you're mine, I leave everything behind. Ever faithful, ever true, nothing matters, love, but you. Nothing matters, love, but you. Only you. If the sun should tumble from the sky, if the sea should suddenly run dry, if you love me, really love me, let it happen, I won't care. If it seems that everything is lost, I will smile and never count the cost. If you love me, really love me, let it happen, darling. I won't care. I won't care. Shall I catch a shooting star? Shall I bring it where you are? If you want me to, I will. Oh, I'd do anything at all, even make a mountain fall. If you only love me still, I would pledge you any vow. Nothing matters to me now set me any task, I'll do anything you ask. If you only say you care. Oh, my love. My love, if I should die, even death, it would mean goodbye. For you love me, truly love me. Keep on smiling, I'll be there. And at last, when your life too shall end, we will be together once again. If you love me, really love me, then whatever happens, I won't care. If you love me, darling, I'll be there, be there. Eternity will share. Whatever happens, I won't care. Thank you.
Oh, Jim, you're muted.
I muted it. Shoot, I still do that. What I said is I'd give you a standing ovation, but I'm wearing blue jeans, and I don't want anybody to know that. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful, and I know that all of you who are listening, maybe one of the things you're struck with, as I was the very first time they started singing, even when they were students, is that not only do they just sing, each one of them has the most gorgeous, wonderful voice. They sing so perfectly well together, such a great blend and so in tune. But I think that the thing that sets them apart, even more than all of those things, is that they seem to have these sort of old souls. You know, when they sing, you believe everything that they sing. It just like they've lived it. And they had that even, 10 years ago when they first started. And I think that comes through even through the computer screen, just how much heart is in your singing. And I think that that's something that people around the world have really drawn people to you all over the world. So just thank you for that wonderful example and that model. It's really, really exciting to hear. One of the things that I want to talk to you about now is that while you were at UMSL and once you started singing, maybe you could kind of quickly go through some of the wonderful things that you did. I remember that once people realized that you were in the world at UMSL, you started getting all sorts of requests to sing here and there. So why don't you talk about some of your favorite UMSL experiences?
We did so much stuff, and we were kind of recalling it for this call and remembering like, oh yeah, we did that. Oh yeah, we did that. It's so much more than I even remembered. I think part of what had happened was when we did want to go to Germany, we could not make it there really on our own without the university's help. As you can imagine, for people going to Germany for this contest and being college students, it just wouldn't have been possible for us without UMSL's support. And so Kurt Coonrod offered to help us get there, the way you guys would help an athletic team like go to some kind of contest. And so after that, we basically said, if you want us to sing at anything, you just let us know. We will sing the national anthem. We will sing whatever. So we sang at the Chancellor's Dinner, the Founders Dinner. We sang at a really cool event that was the induction of new members to the UMSL Athletics Hall of Fame. And so we learned like a Billboard hit from the year that they had been students at UMSL that was like popular during their year. And so as they would walk up to accept their award, kind of like a baseball, like walk up to the mound type of song, we sang that for them. That was really fun.
And
That was like one
I'm
of
going
the
to
most
interrupt you a little bit, Blair, because not only did you learn it, you guys actually put the whole thing together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to like make
It's
some
arranged,
arrangements. We actually
You
sang
arranged it and everything.
an R. Kelly song was one of them.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, a bunch of things that should not be sung in the barbershop style.
It was fun.
But it was really fun, and that was awesome. And what else? We sang at some sporting events. We sang at graduation. We sung all over the place. What else? What else am I missing?
Yeah, we've definitely all done the national anthem, right?
Many times.
graduation.
Many
Yeah.
times.
Do you want
Yeah.
to talk about Madco now, or is that something you want to save?
Sure, yeah. Or should we talk about Germany first? And then
Yeah, let's talk about Germany first.
Let's talk about
Okay.
Germany first.
You want to
So
pull up the
yeah, we have some slides.
the slide about Germany.
There we are. Oh, our little faces. So yeah, so we got invited to go to Germany, and the quartets that were going to be there competing against us were almost all quite a bit older than us, which we were pretty nervous about that. And then just from every country in the world. And so we kind of were feeling like we were going to the Olympics or something, like we're representing the United States and UMSL, and we didn't want to do a bad job. And you can see in these pictures, Michaela and I have two different dresses, a blue one and a silver one. And if you didn't sing well enough in the first round, you wouldn't get invited to the second round. And we were like, we really want to wear both dresses because we bought two dresses and we want a chance to wear both of them. So I think our goal, like going into it, was don't embarrass America and get to wear both dresses by making it to the finals round.
We just had zero expectations going in, so to win it was incredible.
It was like shocking and wonderful, and we made connections with people from all over the world. It really is like one of the best experiences of all of our lives, and it's really only because of our involvement with UMSL that we were able to go. We probably could not have done that on our own, so
There's a
thank
German
you.
couple there that we met that recently had a baby, and you guys FaceTime and still talk from.
Yeah,
that.
we still have friends from that. Yeah, from that contest. It's been wonderful. So we went over there, we sang, we won, we were super surprised. And yeah, they told us that in the history of their organization that no one had ever scored that high at all before. And I think what happened for us is, like I said earlier, in the United States, mixed barbershop wasn't very popular. And after we went to Germany and won, I think it was the beginning, at least for us, of people in the US starting to say, like, I do want to hear this, and we do want to have a mixed quartet on our show, and you know, maybe mixed barbershop is kind of cool. I don't think we could take credit for mixed barbershop, but I think that that contest really catapulted us into getting to do shows all over the US and around the world, and we're just so grateful that we
We
were
spent a
able
lot
to-
of weekends in the car, like just driving around the Midwest, like to Dubuque, Iowa, to do a
Yeah.
show like, everywhere. We just
Yeah.
did the circuit around. the
and then
Midwest.
be back up on Monday morning in time for class.
That's
That's
right,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was all because of UMSL that we were able to have all those experiences. So
So yeah,
that
we
was really
also
cool.
have a slide about Madco. One of the coolest things we got to do, I feel like, at UMSL was collaborate with the Madco Dance Company. And basically they approached us and said, we want to choreograph like 6 of your songs. So you sing it live and we'll create dances to it. So that was such an honor for us to see our music being brought to life in such a cool and unique way. So yeah, this is a picture of us singing. I think this was Grow Old With You. Or was it
Yeah.
You Still Love Me?
I don't know.
It was one of those.
It's one of the songs we
Definitely
sang.
one of those.
It was one of the songs that we sang earlier, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, Grow Old With You. So we were just standing there singing and getting to see their beautiful dances. It was really cool.
And we did all this at the Two Hill. So
Mhm.
we got to have rehearsals in the Whitaker and perform on the big Two Hill stage, and it was awesome.
Also, just as a side note, I feel like we were very spoiled getting to perform at the Two Hill a lot. Like
Yeah.
we performed a lot of places, and the Two Hill is by far like one of the most beautiful places
Yes.
we've ever performed.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's wonderful. I just love it. And again, it just brings back memories. So the picture there with the Madco, was that taken at Whitaker in the Two Hill?
That was at Whitaker,
I
yeah.
think so.
I think that,
Okay.
that picture was in the Lee Theater, I think.
That was in the Lee Theater.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, the Lee Theater, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a small
It really was cool just to have 4 singers that were singing a cappella, and then the whole thing was choreographed. It was a really, really wonderful event. I really want to talk to you a little bit about like what's happened since UMSL, but maybe we could defer that and have you guys sing a little bit more, and then we'll talk
Yeah.
about like now that you've graduated, you've obviously this has continued on, and I just would love to just kind of know about some of your travels, and of course how things are going with your families and what y'all are doing now.
Yeah, we're gonna sing 2 more, and one was arranged for us by a really great arranger named Dr. David Wright, and one was arranged for us by Nathan. So you'll hear the first one not arranged by Nathan, the second one is arranged by Nathan. Is that
You
right?
decide which one's better.
Yeah, you decide. Yeah.
Every which way I look, I see your face before me. Every which way I talk, I always call your name. I'm walking down a one-way street, trying to forget. But after all these lonely years, I find I love you yet. Every which way I turn, it seems you're right beside me. Every which way I go, it seems you're going to. I hope someday you realize our love was meant to be. Every which way you love, I hope that love is me. Every which way I look, I see your face before me. Every which way I talk, I always call your name. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Every which way I turn, it seems you're right beside me. Every which way I go, you're going to. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. Whoa, 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 whoa. Every which way I look, I see your face before me. Every which way I talk, I always call your name, your name. I'm walking on down a one-way street, trying to forget. But after all these lonely years, I find I love you yet. Every which way I turn, seems you're right beside me. Every which way I go, it seems you're going to. You're walking there right by my side. Oh, babe, what can I say? Every which way I turn, every which way I look, I see you every hour of every day. Every which way, every which way, every which way.
Yes, very good.
Should we save the last song for like a little closing number?
Sure, yeah, we'll save the last one
Okay.
and sing it just right at the end as like a goodbye song.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Tell me about that song. Where did that come from? I actually know the answer, but maybe.
Yeah, if you're
Quizzing
smart,
us.
you know. Yeah, so there's a group.
Well, actually, I only know because you're the ones who told me about this group. I didn't know about them till you.
I hope that, yeah, when will they start sending us the royalties? It's a group called the Quavi Sisters, and it's 3, this doesn't matter, but beautiful sisters from Texas, and they all sing really tight harmonies, and they all play the fiddle, like, really well. And we got really into them while we were all at UMSL, and we actually all went to see them. They had a concert in St. Louis at the Sheldon Concert Hall. And so it was like up in the ceiling of the Sheldon. I don't know if you've ever been to the top floor. That's a really intimate music venue. So we got to go up there and see the Quavi Sisters, and we fell in love with all their music. So that was one of their songs that they've made popular, Every Which Away. And we love all their stuff, and we've had now three of their songs arranged for us that we're trying to learn.
Quavi Sister cover band.
We're trying to copy them. We love them.
Well,
So
you
we're gonna
you
look
do
them
it
up.
you do it justice, that's for sure. So tell us about like since UMSL. I know you've done recordings. I know you've traveled. I know that you've moved. You can tell us where you live now and why, and just sort of tell us what's been going on since you left UMSL.
I think we have a slide for this too with just some pictures of the things that we've done. So where are we now? Slide.
Where are they now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is so fun to see all these. So in 2016, we got invited to sing on a barbershop show in London, England, and we got to go there together, which was wonderful. And then we returned to Germany. The way they do their contest at the World Mixed is some contests, once you've won, that's it. You can't compete again. But in Germany, they kind of expect you to come back and defend your title. So we went again to the next contest and we won again. So now we're done. We're not going to go there anymore. But
they asked us to be headliners on their show. So that picture.
That's right. So we got to go a third time, and the third time we were just invited as guests to sing at the event, which was really cool. Then we
Which
got
is a
to
really
sing.
nice way of saying that they knew they wanted somebody else to be able to win.
Don't compete anymore. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm going to take that as a pleasure. We got to sing on a cruise together with other barbershop quartets, including Jen's quartet and lots of other great quartets. What else? We gained
a lot of weight on
We
that
gained a
cruise.
lot of weight on the cruise, which is good. We ate everything.
We got to go on a cruise for free because we sing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Because we went to Umsl, we got to go on a cruise for free if you connect all the dots. And then last year, well, I guess 2019 now, we got to fly to Finland and sing at a choral music festival there. We've gotten to do so many things because of meeting each other at Umsl.
Singing on the AOH Christmas show, that's that Two Hill picture.
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest
Sorry,
things ever.
Texas.
The AOH audience, the Ambassadors of Harmony audience, is it's incredible to sing for.
Yeah.
And that Christmas show is just like it's huge.
If you haven't been, you should totally go.
It's
At the Two Hill.
Yeah.
So we got to kind of come back home and sing there again, and so since then, we're coming to you live now from Florida, and we all live basically down the street from each other because we just wanted to be close to each other and be able to sing in person, and we wanted our kids to grow up together. So we each have a baby. We have a baby. They have a baby.
There's a slide.
There's
for
a
that
slide.
too. That shows our kids.
The cutest babies in the world, I have to say. Look at those.
We even made them get pictures taken together. They're skeptical about it. So now we live, 5 minutes apart. And I will say that especially during the last year and everything that's gone on, if we didn't live near each other, we probably wouldn't have gotten to see each other at all. And we're really grateful. And I know there's so many people, especially in the choral music world, who would love to be able to sing with someone where they live. And we're really lucky that we've been able to do that. So we feel like very fortunate to be together and be able to actually sing in person. It's pretty special right now. So.
And how many recordings do you guys have now?
We've made 2 full albums, and Nathan mixed all of that for us because Nathan's awesome at that.
He also has an audio engineering certificate
That's
from
true.
Umsl.
First class. So
First
I think
class.
that offered that. They offered it the first year. I'm trying to remember. Jeff Griswold did the live portion, and then Tyler Widman did the studio portion at Notify Records. And it was a really awesome experience, too. It was a 2-year certification through UMSL to certify you in audio engineering. And that was an awesome educational experience for me that I've used like almost daily since then, actually. So that's great.
Yeah, and these two, Nathan and Michaela, make learning tracks for choirs and quartets and singing ensembles of all kinds, and they're gorgeous. So
They're wonderful learning tracks, and I'll throw in a little plug because another thing that you all participated in college and since college is our Acapalooza camps. And you guys were real fixtures at that, and I really appreciate that so much. Imagine all of you who are listening in having a quartet like this singing for a bunch of rabid a cappella loving young people, teenagers. That's quite a spectacle to behold and sort of be witness to. And also Michaela and Nathan have made learning tracks for our Acapalooza camps, and they're just beautiful. Now I know you're not making a living completely at just singing as a quartet, that you guys are doing some other things besides. So maybe tell us what you're doing. What's your second job?
I'm an elementary music teacher. Actually, this year I'm an online kindergarten teacher. They needed some extra online teachers, so that's new for me. but it's been a unique experience. But for the past 5 years, I have been a pre-K to 5 music teacher.
Prior to COVID, I was like singing professionally full time, classical and opera music, and working at churches. And now that's all not happening. So I'm a mom, and I don't know why you're saying that we're not going to make a full time living from Double Date.
I didn't say you're not going to. I just
Okay. I still think it's
no. I have every confidence that you will.
That's my plan. So everything's going exactly according to my plan.
Since Umsl, I got to teach middle school choir for 2 years at 2 schools in St. Louis, in U City and in Parkway. And then since then, I've taught elementary music as well, like Michaela, for 3 years in California. And I just got a job in Florida. And I love teaching elementary music. It's just like, the energy of little kids and like what they're excited about is, it's wonderful.
And I imagine what you learned in law school can come in handy in a
Exactly. I gotta lay down the law fairly often. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also an elementary music educator. This is my 5th year, kindergarten through 5th grade.
Teaching music as well.
I just think it's really wonderful to know that, and I think it's great for people to know that you guys are giving back this way. You've got these talented young people who are doing this, who are traveling the world singing, and yet they're also connecting to young people and turning them on to music, which will, inform their entire life. So I love that you guys are doing that. I think that, of course, we all think that education is such a noble profession, and so appreciate that you guys are doing that. I'm going to ask one more $1 million question before you sing your last song. That is, so here you are, now you're 2 married couples on the road, traveling with one another, and how does that work? What if you guys have, let's say Nathan doesn't, take out the trash, or, you're mad at Robbie because he didn't shovel the snow in Fort Myers, Florida.
Right.
You got these things going on, and, do you ever just like, how do you guys maintain your healthy relationship on the road, and does that kind of thing come up or happen?
It totally does. And I think, often a barbershop quartet would be like 4 men or 4 women who are all just friends. And so it's kind of like time to maybe be away from your family in a good way and a bad way, I guess. But for us, like this is my family. So even when we have to perform, whatever was going on at home, also is on stage. And I think it's been a really positive thing in our lives because you have to reconcile whatever's going on, or you cannot go out and perform in a sincere way. I think we could go out and act like we all are getting along, but I think people can tell, and that's a lot of work. Why act when you can tell the truth? So that means we have had times backstage where it's like, hey, I'm sorry, I was rude on the way here, and I love you.
I got hangry.
I was hangry. I'm tired. And we'll be backstage literally like, hey, I'm really sorry. I'm so grateful we get to sing together. Yeah, and then we go out and sing, and it's almost like free therapy for us, and it's made our friendships really strong as well. It really makes you a family to travel and perform like that, and you have to kind of nurture those relationships with the people you care about. So we feel really blessed actually to get to have that experience together as couples.
That's beautiful. I'm glad we asked that question. It's great. Well, will you sing Nathan's arrangement? I think we're dying to hear it.
Yes. Yeah. This was Ella Fitzgerald's song that we all really loved. So
I'm going to grade this now. I'm going to see what
oh no. Gather round me, everybody. Gather round me while I preach some. I feel a sermon coming on here. The topic will be sin, and that's what I'm against. If you want to hear my story, then
Eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. You gotta spread joy up to the maximum. Bring gloom down to the minimum. Have faith. A pandemonium's liable to walk upon the sea.
On the scene to illustrate my last remark. Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, you better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. To illustrate my last remark. Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? You better accentuate, eliminate. Latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between.
Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr.
In Between to illustrate my last remark. Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark, so dark?
Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. Don't mess with Mr. In Between.
Yes. So good. I like that. So we got to hear all of your voices individually. So beautiful. Well, Double Date, thank you so, so much. Thanks again, Pierre Laclede Society, for hosting this, and to the Mccarthys, of course, for being everything you do. And just want to say that a link to the recording of this presentation is going to be available and sent to everybody in attendance tonight, and you're free to share that with anybody who couldn't be here this evening. And I'll bet there are a lot of people who once they or probably would really regret not being here tonight. So please do share that. And I think also people who are in attendance are getting a free Double Date CD, which is fantastic. And thanks for that. And as a reminder, just want to let you know that the Pierre Laclede Society is going to be holding their second event of the series, Braving, on March 11th at 6 p.m. And this event will feature alumna Andrea Nelson discussing the best-selling book, Dare to Lead, by researcher and storyteller Dr. Brene Brown. And I think more information is going to be sent out shortly about that, including the link to register. And the first 50 to register get a free book. So that's the announcements that I had to give. Beyond that, just thanks to everybody again for attending. What a beautiful, fun evening this has been. And special thanks to Double Date.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Jim.
Thank you for having us. This is wonderful. I wish we could see you all.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.